Mass. You would have heard about this because whenever we go for numerical problems, be it in kinematics or any other concepts also, this is the term which we'll be hearing very frequently. Mass. What exactly is this mass? How can you define mass? Have you ever read about this? Any definition in your mind running as of now when I say mass? It can be considered as matter contained. Matter contained in an object can be defined as mass. Second, what is this matter? I could clearly tell you this is nothing but the number of, if you can count the number of electrons, neutrons, and protons in your body, that constitutes your mass. It is just as simple as that. It is just a count of number of atoms inside a body, and we call it as mass. Mass is a physical quantity and generally denoted by the letter M. And then as being a physical quantity, it will have units. Its SI unit is kg and a CGS unit is gram. And I can tell you that mass of an object or mass of a body, I mean the number of atoms in a body will not change until it is subjected to a greater force. Like nuclear fission and nuclear fusion reactions, you can see a heavy nucleus will be splitting into smaller nucleus, where you can see the number of atoms in the nucleus also decreases. So apart from such conditions, an object's mass will remain constant. This is independent of any external factor. As I told you again, remember that unless an extreme force acts on an object, its mass is not going to change. So mass is a constant everywhere on the earth and even on other planetary objects also. Even on other planetary bodies, the number of atoms which you possess will not change because it is independent of the external factors. So mass is a constant, and particularly this is a scalar quantity. This is a scalar quantity, which means it will not have any direction to be specified. In any direction, it remains same. And the next one, lastly, I can say that mass can be measured by using a common balance. Mass is measured by using common balance. You know common balance? I hope you all know what is a common balance. It looks something like this.
Yes, ma'am.
Mass of an object can be measured by using common balance by comparing it to other standard objects. Like I take some 1 kg stone and keep it on one plate of the common balance, and I'll be putting the other objects or the things that are to be measured on the other pan, and we'll be balancing them and can be finding the mass of the content, whichever is required. So once again, mass is the matter contained in a body or an object, and it is just the count of atoms you have inside you. It is the number of atoms with which you are made up of constitutes your mass. Mass is denoted by the letter small m. Remember, this small m is for mass when it comes to representing physical quantities. But when you are dealing with units, small m is for meter. So for physical quantity mass, it is m. For unit, it is m again for meter. And its units, SI unit is kg, CGS unit is gram. And this is a constant everywhere in the universe. I mean, for a particular object, for you or for me or for anything in this universe, its mass is a constant, and that mass is not going to get affected by any other factors or any other place. It is a constant everywhere on the earth. It is a constant everywhere in the universe also. So it is a constant, and moreover, it don't have any direction. It is not directed by any direction. It is same in all directions. So it is a scalar quantity, and then it can be measured by using a common balance. Okay. Now, the confusion arises when you actually learn about a similar concept, which I call as weight. in common use, you can actually, that doesn't matter. Technically, what you're using at mass and weight can be a little confusing, but that's okay for regular use. But technically, you have to be very clear when it comes to dealing with the mass and weight. So what is a weight? Give me a second. Please keep thinking. What is weight, Arnav?
Ma'am, the force with which Earth pull object towards itself.
Exactly, the force with which Earth pulls the object. Or you can say it as gravitational force acting on an object. So gravitational force acting on an object is defined as weight. So weight is just a force again. And this is denoted by the letter W and its unit being SI unit. As I'm defining it as force, SI unit is Newton. When it comes to denoting it with single letter, it is capital N, but when you are writing it in full, you have to write it in short. And CGS unit is dyne. Okay, so as weight is nothing but force, again, you just remember the first part of the definition. Weight is gravitational force. Weight is force. So unit of force has become unit of weight. So the properties of force become properties of weight also. And weight is a vector quantity. Weight is a vector quantity because force is a vector quantity. It is defined by its direction. So weight is also defined by its direction. And weight is not a constant. It is a variable. And what are the factors that keeps changing this W, or what are the factors on which this weight depends? See, if you consider the expression from Newton's second law, F is equal to ma. When you consider the expression from Newton's second law, F is equal to ma, if I'm actually considering this as gravitational force on an object of mass m, then the acceleration produced in them is g. So the expression can be modified as Fg is equal to mg when gravitation is acting on objects. But just now we have actually understood that this gravitational force is nothing but weight. So can I write W is equal to mg?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I'll be saying it once again. Please concentrate. From the Newton's second law, we have understood that F is equal to ma, where F is the force acting on an object of mass m, creating an acceleration a. But if I consider F to be gravitational force acting on mass m, will create an acceleration g in the object, and hence Fg can be taken as weight because we have just learned this is nothing but weight. So Fg is replaced by W is equal to mg. So this is the expression to be used to calculate weight of an object. Now, it is very obvious from this expression that W depends on mass of the object as well as weight. W depends on acceleration due to gravity also. Is that clear? See, if I am considering an object of mass 10 kg, I am considering an object of mass 10 kg, but value of g is going to be different at a certain height because value of g is something at a height h, and this is not actually equal to 9.8, right? On the surface of the earth, I can write W is equal to 10 into 9.8. When the object is on the surface of the earth, this becomes a 98 newtons. But as you know that value of G decreases as we move above the surface of the earth. So G value is decreasing, which means W also decreases. Though the mass of the object is the same 10 kg, but its weight is not going to be the same because you are actually going to certain height above the surface of the earth. So keeping mass constant, you can understand how G has an effect on W. As they are directly related, as G decreases, W decreases, and G increases, W increases. And on the same note, my dear students, I would like to tell you that G has its maximum value on the surface of the earth, above the surface of the earth. See, I have G maximum only on the surface. Above the surface, it is decreasing, and below the surface also it is decreasing. So only on the surface, I find it maximum. So weight of an object will also be maximum on the surface of the earth. Weight of the object also decreases. See, weight of a person on Mount Everest will be less when compared to weight of the same person on the surface of the earth. I mean, when he is in Delhi, his weight would be something. And when he is on Mount Everest, his weight will be surely less than what he is weighing in Delhi. Did you get this point?
So, ma'am, on the weighing scale, if we weigh ourselves and it is 50, so it is 50 Newton or 50 kgs.
Now that is a different thing that we can't actually talk about. That should be called actually as mass none. It is not weight. Because it is okay if at all you use anything when it comes to regular conversation. But technically you have to be very careful. And when I'm talking here, if a person is just his mass is say for example 70 kg, and on the surface of the earth into 10 again, so his weight would be 100 newtons. His weight would be 100 newtons in Delhi, but when he is in Mount Everest, which is several feet above the sea level, his weight would be definitely less than this 100 newton. And the same thing can be applied when he is actually moving deep into the earth. Weight keeps on decreasing, and at the center of the earth, as acceleration due to gravity is zero, Z becomes zero, and hence W becomes zero, and objects will experience weightlessness. And we'll be talking about this weightlessness a little later in the session. So hope you are clear with these points. I mean, I said weight is a gravitational force acting on an object denoted by the letter capital W with the SI unit Newton and CGS unit dyne. And this is defined by its direction also, as this is force, and it is a variable, which is it is not a constant, and it depends on mass of the object and acceleration due to gravity. If acceleration due to gravity is same, then weight will be changing according with mass. I mean, objects having high mass will have more weight. Objects of less mass will have lesser weight. When I'm considering two objects on the surface of the earth with two different masses, one of 10 kg and one of 15 kg, you can clearly understand weight of both the objects is different. Though G is same, now the weight depends on mass of the objects, and hence weight also differ. And then there is a special condition you have to know. We generally call it as gravitational unit of weight. So far you have seen what is SI unit and CGS unit, but this is something gravitational unit of weight. And gravitational unit of weight is given as kg weight. Kg weight. What is this kg weight? Kg weight is weight of the object. Kg weight is weight of the object of mass 1 kg. Just go through it once again. Kg weight is the weight of the object whose mass is 1 kg. Or in other words, I can say it as kg weight is the gravitational force acting on 1 kg mass. The gravitational force acting on 1 kg mass is defined as kg weight. It is just like W is equal to M into G, and M will have several values depending on the object. But if I am considering object mass is 1 kg, then the gravitational force acting on it becomes 1 kg into 9.8 meter per second square, which is just 9.8 Newton. And this 9.8 Newton is defined as kg weight. Please let me know whether you have understood this or not. Arnav, Bhumika,
Yes, ma'am.
did you understand? Sahas? Okay. So 1 kg weight, 1 kg weight can be defined as, it is generally called as gravitational unit of weight, and this can be defined as weight of the object whose mass is 1 kg, or it is the gravitational force acting on 1 kg mass. And what is its value? 1 kg weight, or you can also call it as 1 kg force now. You can also call it as 1 kg force, and its value is 9.8 Newton. And this value is 9.8 Newton. Is that clear?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. So let us try to actually differentiate both of them. Differences between mass and weight, they differ in every sort, starting from definition. Difference between mass and weight. Their definitions becomes the basic difference. Their meaning itself becomes the basic difference. Mass is the matter contained in an object, which is the count of number of elementary particles in a body. Whereas weight is gravitational force acting on the object. And weight is gravitational force acting on an object. Second one, this is a mass is a scalar quantity, and this is a vector quantity. Mass is a constant, whereas weight is variable. Weight is variable. Unit of mass, kg or gram, and weight is measured in units, Newton or dynes. And then coming to the measurement type, how can we measure them? This is measured by using common balance, and this is measured by using spring balance. Mass cannot be zero, whereas weight can be. Anything else? Can you add up? Can you add something to it?
No, ma'am.
Sure. I would like to tell you, please remember that you have a continuation of the same session tomorrow at 7 p.m. and please don't join late to the class. Please be on time. Please be on time, and remember that tomorrow also you have physics class. The last session of this concept, last session of gravitation. Okay. Weight of an object on moon. What will be weight of an object on the moon? If you can remember the relation between the value of G on the earth and value of G on the moon, value of G on the moon is 6 times the value of G on the earth. Yes. So if I consider an object of mass m, I can write its weight on the earth as m into G. If I consider its weight on moon, I can write it as weight on the moon m into gm. Okay. So if I write WE by WM, this becomes MGE by MGM. See, I am not changing this M. I'm not referring it as mass on the moon or mass on the earth, because I just told you that mass is everywhere constant in the universe. So M and M gets cancelled. And from this expression, what is GE by GM? GE by GM is 6. So WE by WM is equal to 6, or this can be written as weight of the same object on the earth is 6 times weight of the object on the moon. What we actually, or let me say in other words, that weight on the moon is 6 times less than weight on the earth. If I say that weight of an object on the earth is 90 newtons, if weight of an object on the earth is 90 newtons, its weight on the moon will be 90 by 6 times less than that on the earth, which is, okay, for convenience, I'll be taking it as 8, sorry, 9 only, and which is 15, right? Which is just 15 newtons. Is this understood? So weight on the moon is 6 times less than weight on the earth. Weight with respect to value of G. See, if G decreases, weight also decreases. Yes, because W is directly proportional to G. If weight decreases, G also, if G decreases, weight also decreases. Like you have seen when you are moving above the surface of the earth to certain height, as G value decreases with height, weight also decreases. That I already told you. And also, when you actually start going deep into the earth from the surface of the earth, G value is decreasing, and hence weight of the object also decreases. And at the center of the earth, G value becomes 0, and hence weight also becomes 0. So this phenomenon is actually called as zero gravity, and this condition is called weightlessness. And this condition is called weightlessness. And then if G increases, W also increases. I mean, if you can consider a heavy planet compared to the Earth, it can be Jupiter or Mercury, which is very much bigger when compared to the Earth. As G value will be more, you will be weighing more on them. Or I can tell you, see, GE at equator is less than GE at poles, G at poles. So I can write weight at the equator is less than weight at the poles. I mean, if at all you start traveling from equator to pole, you will be weighing more at pole when compared to your weight at equator. So as you keep moving from equator to pole, your weight keeps increasing because G value is increasing. Is that clear? You will be weighing maximum at the poles and minimum at equator. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And you can compare it to other planetary objects also. If you consider sun, actually the value of G on sun is 7 times more than that of the earth. So what you are weighing on the earth, as an example I've taken just before, if you are weighing 90 newtons on the earth, then you will be weighing on the sun like 90 into 7. Did you understand? So as G value increases, weight of the object will also increase. And if G becomes 0, W becomes 0. And tell me, where is weight maximum on the earth? I mean, relative to earth. Of course, on the surface of the earth, it is maximum at poles, but I'm talking particularly like G value will be maximum on the surface of the earth and on particularly at poles. And this is how the variation of weight can be understood with respect to G. And then here comes the concept of weightlessness. I think I can you can tell me more about this weightlessness, because I think you are fond of watching movies. I mean videos related to some spaceships. You would have seen astronauts, videos of astronauts, how they are talking, how they will be looking.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, they will be floating, right? And you can see everything is tied up. Everything will be tied to the surfaces of the spaceship. And satellites also experience weightlessness. Not only satellites, you can also say that all the planets in the solar system are also weightless. As of now, they're experiencing weightlessness. Did you understand? Because they're acted upon by this gravitational force, and exactly they're held at a certain distance where this gravitational force is nullified. And hence weight of the planetary objects are all zero. And weight of satellites is also zero. And weight of the objects at null points. Null points in the sense, if you consider a satellite between Earth and the Moon, there is a certain point between Earth and the Moon where gravitation of both Earth and this Moon are absent. Those are called null points, and at those points also you will observe this weightlessness. And when objects are freely falling under gravity, they experience weightlessness.
For example, in a falling lift.
Yes. So this is all about today's concept, differences between small g and capital G, difference between mass and weight, and how is this weight varying with the G, what is meant by weightlessness, and all. So let us have a class exercise. Let us have a look at class exercise and also at what we have learned today. Just give me a minute.